Okay guys, so this is another test. We will be doing a test on analytics. So that's why, so let me explain you the scenario. So the scenario is like we'll be having a stream which is started on OBS and it is going to YouTube, and from YouTube we are sending it to the kPoint. So right now whatever streaming you are watching, it's coming from the YouTube. Okay, so that is what we are testing, and at the end of this test we will be checking the analytics of the live as well as the VOD. Okay, so you can put comments also on the videos who all have joined. So we just want to make sure that the analytics are working fine. Okay, I see there is a 480p. I can see 720p option also. If you guys can just change the resolution also and test it, but that doesn't matter right now. Okay, so now let me start a presentation. Okay, rather than that, okay, so this is the presentation. I will be sharing it. So I'm going to a screen share. My presentation is started. Those who don't know, they always like feel pain that whenever we go full screen or in the presentation mode, it either comes in the notes view or it doesn't go to the second display. So for those, if you want the same presentation in full screen at your laptop screen as well as on the extended screen, so under the slideshow you have to disable this presenter view. Once you disable this, then whatever view you look on your laptop will exactly be the replica on your extended desktop or the screen. If you click on this, then you will always find a notes view on your laptop and the full screen view on the extended screen. So if you want both full screen, just disable this, and whenever you run a presentation from here, you have an option whether you want a primary monitor or secondary monitor. So I want a primary monitor right now because this is getting shared. So I will go full screen. Okay, I'm on the full screen. I keep speaking. I'm a chatterbox, but when it comes to the presentation, yeah, it's very difficult to speak on the presentation. Okay, so this is the presentation slide. I will be just reading the best practices slide. Okay, and this is very useful because we often give some presentations and we just miss few things. So these are the pre-event preparations. Like when you are going for any presentation, always share your presentation and any other related media with the event coordinator. This helps because if suppose you are running any video and there is audio in it, you go on the time at the venue, share your media and the presentation, and surprisingly it doesn't work because either the audio output is not given or the file is missing. So it is always better and advisable that you should always share your presentation and the related media to the coordinator in advance. Make sure your presentation is copied on the projector laptop and is working as expected. Yes, this is also important because if you go on 11th hour, then it may take some time for shifting your PPT on multiple laptops. So just to avoid that, make sure reach there and copy it in advance. Coming back to the color mic, yes, place your color mic at proper position, because if you are doing at your own, there is a possibility that either it is very low or it will be very high, so the sound quality may vary. So always give this to your uh, coordinator, they will help you out. Okay, uh, now coming back to make sure to turn on your microphone before starting. Yeah, it is often seen that the presenter is geared up with the lapel microphone in advance, and it is turned off. As soon as his name is announced, he quickly goes onto the podium or on the stage and start presenting. And it is very embarrassing situation that the mic is not on and then just call for the help. So it is always recommended that whenever you are going onto the podium or on the stage, make sure your microphone is on and then only just step up. Before you start your presentation, the next point is very important, that the speaker should confirm with the audience whether he is audible. Otherwise he start presenting the presentation, and at the end he finds that up to 2 or 3 rows only it is audible, and the rest of the people are not even able to hear him. So it is always better to confirm before you start your presentation, and that is the motive, that people should understand your talk, otherwise it will be a pain. हाँ मैंने यहाँ बोला है सबको, हाँ फिर भी just you tell. So try and get access to the presentation changer so that you may remain control over your presentation. So this is again a very important point, because if you are roaming, you are moving, and then you are using a clicker for that. Okay, with that clicker, if you want, it is observed that you are not used to it, so you are not able to point the things with the pointer. You are not able to do the back and forth, like in the next slide or the previous slide. By mistake, if you want to go forward, you click the backward slide, or something mishaps. So it is always advisable that again try to get the access of presentation changer and get used to it. Moving forward on this slide, always follow the 2p rule, and this is a 2p rule which I have generated, yes, for a customer. There is no such 2p rule, but yes, I have invented this. So the first p is the position, and the position is like try and use a podium for your presentation, so that when you are standing at the podium you get a better view of the audience, because podium is set accordingly so that anybody at the corner or at the end can see you clearly. Another benefits are like the cameras are fixed at you and focused at you, so that is what, like if the camera is focused on you and you keep moving, then it is difficult to follow you. So please refer that the camera remains focused on you. And another benefit is that the light always remains focused on you, because if you're at the podium, the light is arranged so that you are highlighted, and if you go around here and there, then it is a possibility that your face may come darker, and later you should not complain. So it's always recommended that follow the guidelines for the position. Going forward to the next P, that is the presentation. We have already discussed, but there are a few more points which are very important while creating presentation. We have discussed that share your presentation in advance with the coordinator. The key element is do not put too many videos or animations, as it may take the file heavy and delay slide changeovers. Yes, this is very important point, because if there are heavy animations and videos, then there is a possibility that when you are changing the slide, it may take some time to load, and the experience is not good. Use uniform formatting throughout your presentations. Yes, again this is the key point. If you see the image over here, you see it is properly aligned. So if at one slide this is the alignment, and on another slide the alignment gets changed, then it is very distracting. So it is always advisable that keep your presentation in align, and the formatting should be the same. Avoid using colors like white, yellow, or any light colors, because they're hard to read when projected. Yes, many people complain that there is a big screen, it's a huge projector, but the text is not readable, and just because the colors used or the text color used is not up to the mark. So make sure that it is also well considered. Prepare your presentation in 16:9 ratio, which is the widescreen and the standard screen presentation, because nowadays all the screens and the projectors come into the wide resolution. So if it is 4:9, then you will see your presentation in the center area, and there will be black bands at the extreme corners. So if you want to see the full screen, yes, you have to use the 16:9 ratio. This is just a copy with the small fonts, so just for the testing purpose, so I'm just going to skip that. Now the most important is the best practice, because it's an event and there is a possibility of audience interaction. So ask participants to use microphone. Yes, there is a setup with the PA system with the multiple hand mics. People are around there, so if you have any questions, always ask participants to take a mic and then only ask the question. Many times it is observed that in the front row people ask questions directly and the presenter can hear it clearly, but what about the audience who is sitting at the back and barely able to hear you? For that you have to take the microphone and then ask the question into that. Another pain point is, if you are not using a microphone for the audience, then the question which is asked is not getting recorded. So the people who are watching the video at the end, they find it like there is a blank moment at that point. So always ask participants to use microphone. uh, when the audience is asking question and they are asking for the mic, just wait until they get one. Once the microphone is there, ask them to ask the question. Many times it happens that the microphone is not available, or it is far away and it is coming and the question is being asked. So in that case you can play or act smart. You can repeat the question for the audience so that it is audible for everybody, as well as it can be like recorded into the session. So that's all for this session. And let me ask Manish if something has to be done here. Meanwhile, I'm just changing my thing to PIP just to make sure that it is coming up. Just a second. Manish, over करना है? Presentation हो गया, बोल दे करो कर दो है? Okay guys, so I got an indication from Manish that yes, I can end the session. Thank you so much for joining.